Hey everybody, welcome in. My name's Josh. This is the Gaming Joy channel, and we are jumping in Sorry, let me try that again. I was on the wrong screen, and that screen doesn't have audio. Welcome in. My name is Josh. It's the Gaming Joy channel, and welcome in. And as Bruce and David suggested, it's my birthday today. Thank you for being here, and thank you for joining. Just another year older, another year down the road. As my daughter said a little while ago, she messaged me and she said, "Get born." She said she hopes that everyone I interact with today says happy birthday. Well, which is nice. No, that other scene is an old scene. I haven't updated it to use the new audio system. My own fault. My problem for going to that old scene. I mean, we could fix it right now. Hold on. I'm gonna say change that scene again, but you're gonna lose my voice for a half second. And there we go. So now this scene has voice, which it didn't before. This is a really old scene. This is my old theme. I have to update it to the new one. Put a different chat window, a different screenshot on here. We fixed. It's okay. But anyways, now that's fixed so we don't break again. What are we doing today? We're going to start from nothing. And we're going to create our own map. What I've been doing a lot lately is editing things like Riverbend Springs or Putan Pantai. Like I've been doing my own edit of Putan Pantai, and part of that edit is in some way not fixing, because it's not broken. It's customizing it to my own liking, and I'm going to show you what I mean by that. But let's get started. What do I have? All I have is my farming simulator thing. I'm viewing the live modding folder. Here's the live modding. This is what we're going to be working on today. I don't have a map. I don't have anything in here. I'm starting from nothing just to show you guys if you wanted to edit one of the base game maps. This is the steps you take. And now, actually, this is my first time doing these steps this way. You guys know me well enough by now to know that I typically do things the hard way. One of the ways to do that is to open a folder. Let's open a new folder. And go into your data directory, go into the maps folder, and then take this folder, this whole folder, map US, and copy it over. So you'd basically take this, create a new folder here, you'd copy it over. But I saw a video from Lambo today. Now, if you guys aren't following Lambo mods, maybe David can put a link to Lambo in the description. He's been putting out really awesome videos. I'm not going to be able to do his video justice. He went through the first half of his video, and I haven't even finished watching it, but the first half of his video is all explaining how to do things in GE. I'll let you watch his video to figure that out. And he's going to show you a similar process to mine. Because I'm going to use this process I've never tried it before. So I'm going to try what he suggested, see if it works, and see if it helps us. Or we can always do it the normal way, which is the hard way. So if I go into Map US and I open up the map. So I'm going to open this up in Giants Editor. Now we're going to be doing stuff both in Giants Editor and in a text editor today. We're going to be editing both ways. There's two different ways to edit. I'm going to show you both. And we're going to actually use both for different reasons. The one thing I think GE is missing still is dark mode. Why don't we have a dark mode? I mean, I'm the only one who really wants dark mode, but why don't we have dark mode? Getting a notification for my own stuff. All right, here we go. So I know that it's the new GE because the old GE opens up with a lighter gray background, and if I see that one, I know I do something wrong. So this is how the map opens up. I don't know if that's my fault. It might be, but basically, this is the map. And right now, I'm selecting the background mesh for the whole map, which is like the terrain, right? Right. This is the terrain. This is like the way that the shape of the land and all that kind of stuff, right? I don't really care about that. We're going to deselect it because it's kind of an eyesore. The first thing we're going to do is we're not going to touch this. So this is one of the big things. And I did this by accident the first time I edited the map. I actually edited the map and saved it into the base game directory. So my version of Hutian Pantai on my computer is actually not broken, but it's not the same as the base game because I made the mistake of editing the base game maps or save some of the files. We'll explain later. The first thing I'm going to do is go over here to file. I know this is really big, but we're going to have to deal with it. We're going to go to file and we're going to go to new mod from game. This is something I've never used before. I hope it works because I'm showing you guys live. Save changes, no. So I don't want to save changes from what I'm doing. And then it's going to open up this little window here. Can I zoom in? Where's my zoom controls? Oh, they're not there. So we come in here and go to map items. This is basically all of the mods that are in the game now. Go to map items. New mod map. AS, EU, US. We're going to do Riverbend Springs today, just because, I don't know, because. Click OK, and then say, where do you want to store it? And so we're going to go here. And we're going to find our Farming Simulator 25 live modding folder. We're going to do like that. Select folder. I'm not going to build it to the Piaggio Ape folder, don't worry. We're going to call it River. And Springs. We're just going to simply just add GMNG to the end of the name and then click OK. And then it's going to do some stuff. It's going to copy a whole bunch of files. And then hopefully it's going to leave us in the edited version of the map. Maybe. We'll see. It seems stuck, but as with a lot of stuff with GE, there's a lot of stuff going on in the background. So I'm just going to let it run and finish. Okay, so right now it put me into my version of the map, which is great. Let's make sure my version of the map works. So we're going to do a few more things before we actually go into editing. Okay. So if we close this folder, we're not in map US anymore. Now we have a folder right here, Riverbend Springs Gaming. And it's going to have a bunch of stuff. It has a maps folder, right? And then map US, and then all of this stuff is here. We're going to leave everything alone. We're going to leave the format alone. I don't actually like this format. I don't think there needs to be a separate directory here. I think this directory should be up one. But that requires a lot of file changing, and we're not going to do all of that file changing today. Actually, I'll show you how to do it, because so if I don't want this folder here, I'm going to just hit Control X, paste, and I'm going to change this. I'm just leave it as map US. I'm going to delete the maps folder. Now everything is going to be broken. I guarantee you it's going to be broken, but we're going to fix it. Then when I go to the map, I just go straight to the map. That's what I want. To fix it, We're going to come into here and go to new window, new game. No one has actually figured that out yet. No one has told me where that's from. I'm sad. You guys haven't figured that out yet. We're going to go to our, not there, live modding, select. So this is how we edit it. We come in here, we go map US, then we're just going to fix that one data path that change that we made, right? So we're coming here and go like that. Now this, even though we got some warnings and stuff, this is the map. This is the this is like the file that makes the map, right? So this is just, it's just text pretty much. And so if you look at what's happening here, these are the files. These are the files the map loads. So it's loading the foliage files from the data directory, which is good. It's loading a lot of the textures and stuff like that from the data directory, which is very good. We do not want our own copy of the textures, which is the reason why you don't want to actually copy that whole folder. You just want certain stuff. And so this method actually helps a lot. I tend to do a lot of this stuff manually, but whatever. So, and then we have, it's actually copying some textures for buildings and stuff like that from the map EU. It's kind of getting things from all over the place. These are literally all the files the map needs. And if we go down towards the end, we're going to see go, if we look for info layer, and then all of these files, so it says data / blah. That means that all of these are all of these paths are relative to the map file. So from the map file to data / info layer. So all of these info layers are important because if we make any edits, that's where the game saves those edits. So that's the other thing to make sure happens. I didn't know if it was going to happen, so we don't actually need to edit this map at all. What we do need to edit are the XML files. So the XML files, a lot of them are going to say maps / map US. And what we want is map because we changed the folder structure. So anywhere where it's going to be like this, whoops, starting quote, maps, map. So now it's only going to change a few places, replace. So I'm going to do find replace, and then it's going to change it. So don't want that. So that. Perfect. So we have our own sounds file, and we have our data files here, and we have our config files here. Config files don't have anything in them, but everything else should be fine. Everything else should work. It shouldn't be a problem. And the one other thing we want to change is if, so that's it. All we have. So now we have our own map, but not all of it's our own. And here's the key. And so the first thing we're going to change today is the farmlands. See, this is farmlands right here. By default, the game doesn't want you to change the farmlands, but I want to change the farmlands. So if I go here, I'm going to change this to map config farmlands. So I want the farmlands file to load from map config farmlands because I want to change the farmlands. But there is no farmlands folder here. So we're going to have to get it from the base game map. So we come in here, and it's in the same place, map US. It doesn't copy everything over. It only copies over the stuff that it wants you to change. We're going to come in here and copy that farmlands folder file, and then go back to our map folder, config, paste. So now we have a farmlands file. Now, if we save, that means this map, when it loads, is going to be loading from that farmlands file, which is what we want. But that farmlands file is actually broken. So that farmlands file info layer farmlands, schema location. So this is our own schema location file. And now this is, so this has currently, this game has 93 farmlands. Why is this one so expensive? Oh. And we can change all of this, and that's what we're going to do today. Now, the only other thing that we need to make sure we change, and I have to look at a old version. What did I do on mine? Hold on. I have to remember what I did. Map, config. This one. We need this right here, copy, on ours. So by default, it's going to load from the base game, but we want it to load from our own file. So map data, infoland, farmlands, this data file, this info layer farmlands, we want it to load from our local file, not the main file. This is really key. If you don't change this, it won't work. So we're going to change that manually just to make sure it works. And then the last thing is, like, we need a thumbnail. We can't have a map without a thumbnail. That's silly. So let's make a thumbnail real quick. So we're going to go into map US. And where is the thumbnail? I'm trying to think of where it is. I know I found it for the other one. I don't remember where it is. And we'll load without a thumbnail for now. Okay, so let's see if we've, so let's make a minor change and let's see if it loads. That's what we're going to do first. Here. So, minor change. Mod desk, that's not my name. Version 90 is not the right version. Good job, Giants, you did it wrong. River, Bend, Springs, Skimming. Take the same name in both, all the places. Map US, map config hand tools, map config placeables, map config items. So that's the only stuff that it changes, but all of these links are wrong. See how it says map US? It should just say map. Now it's loading our stuff. Did it actually give us all those things? I didn't name... Seriously? All this work and I didn't rename that folder properly? Just noticed that. You guys aren't noticing that? Oops. Wrong one. Welcome in. I see a bunch of people coming in. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of people here. Kobe, welcome in. I saw you come in a while ago. Jemical, thank you very much for joining in. And I'm happy you're able to catch me live as well. Neil, welcome in. Neil and Jemical are both new. I haven't seen you guys before, but thank you very much for being here. And welcome in. We are just messing around. We're playing with the map, and we're going to make our own map. I kind of want the thumbnail, and I'm really kind of bothered that there is no thumbnail. I swear it was in the data directory somewhere. Oh, here it is. So I just searched for preview. I happen to know that's how Giants names their stuff. We're going to open file location. This is the preview for Riverbend Springs. I'm going to hit copy. I'm going to copy that file. I'm going to put it in my mod folder. And I'm going to do something really quick. Hopefully I can do it quick. I don't know if I can. Here, replace. So now it's going to use the Riverbend Springs preview image, which is great. I'm going to open this with GIMP. I have to use two different programs. There's a weird problem with how GIMP saves files. I have to do it with the other program. Hit OK. I'm going to export as PNG. Export. Yada yada. And then I'm going to open this with Affinity. And we need a thumbnail too, because having a mod map without a thumbnail is no fun. But it takes like 2 seconds or 2 minutes maybe. So it's not a big deal. So this is Riverbend. And then I'm going to do this. Hold down the shift key to make a perfect square. And it's not big enough. And then I'm going to use this corner because it's the river bend. Get it? This is going to be my icon for Riverbend Springs. Right here. And I'm using the wrong tool because I'm an idiot. Oh, crop. Deselect. Document. Resize document. 512. Resize. File. Save. It's just a PNG. Go back out of Riverbend. Open this. Open with GIMP again. Then export as PDS. Yeah. No, and this is going to be icon map.dds. It's nice and simple. And we do want the DXT1 format on this one because that's the way it's supposed to be. And then the last thing to edit here is icon underscore map. Save. And we're done. Perfect. So let's load this up at the game and make sure that our map actually works and loads from the start. And then we can start messing with it. So that you don't want to make hundreds and thousands of changes. Anytime you're making a mod, you want to make small-ish changes. Stuff that you know is self-contained. And then you want to make sure it works. And then if it doesn't, you need to go back and figure out why it didn't. So don't change everything and then load it and it doesn't work and you're like, cry me a river because you changed the entire map and now you never tested it. That's not fair. Not smart. And I don't understand why my game takes a year and a day to load. It really makes doing this live modding thing really, really hard because it takes forever. All right, let's do that. Riverbend Springs Gaming. No, and then continue. Now, as you can see, this is our thumbnail. We actually made, this is the thumbnail. This is the image that we really worked on. These are our other mods that we also have been messing with. These are done by other people. This is the one we did last time, or the past couple times. And this is our new map. So we're just gonna go ahead and start. And then hopefully it's not gonna break and everything's gonna work. I think I remembered everything. Nope, got something. Yeah, see all the red? That's not good. Let's go look and see what that red's all about. I must have missed something. Error. It's all Lua errors. But those Lua errors are going to be based off of something. And it's going to be something simple. Error. Map could not be found. So it's trying to load the map, but it can't find it. So obviously we have the wrong path to our map. So we're going to exit out because it's never going to get there. I must have missed something when I was editing it. That's fine. Close all this stuff because it's now, because we renamed it. Map US, map overview. That's fine. Oh, here, right here. Duh. This one right here, we changed the path, but we didn't update here. So obviously it's not going to be able to load into the game. It's a simple one. Welcome back, Neil from Walking the Dog. What kind of dog you have, Neil? We've got a German Shepherd Husky mix who's currently napping. We're going to close this because it doesn't exist anymore. Riverbend Springs. Whatever. Continue. Start. Hopefully no errors this time. And it didn't pop up the window, which means there's no errors. And that's good. And here we go. The background, see the background of the mini map? If I go here, this background is red, so we can fix that. That's easy. That's easy to fix, but it's because there's no overview. So if we remember, we did a search earlier, right here. Come in here to the data directory, search for overview. I don't know why they didn't include this file. Right here. And can I tell from like far away which one's which? I can't. There it is. Maps, US textures. No, don't open it. We need this for the map background. So the reason that, so copy. And then we'll go into here. Paste. It's already there. Okay. Find overview. Map US. It's there. Why are you being dumb? Whatever. Not important. We'll fix it next time. So we do have the map. It is working. So this is our own version of the map. Let's start making it our own. Here's a quick one that I don't understand why Giants doesn't do. And this is a quick fix. This is less complex. This is something that would make Rusty happy. So if we come in here to the construction menu and we go down to painting and we look, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 10 textures. Now, if you play the map, you're like, and you actually start painting stuff and you try to match with what's on the map, you'll realize that there's like 10 textures that I can see right here in this window, and half of them I don't have access to. They don't exist here. Why not? And that's a simple answer. Riverman Springs, map US, map overview, overview.dds. It's there. Why didn't you load? That's so dumb. Who knows? Anyways, so the map US, if you open up this maps US file, this is an important file. And then we're also going to, in our text editor, we're going to load up map US i3D. So this is the i3D file. Now we're not going to edit it. We're just going to look at it. Okay, so I'm going to put it over there on the right. I'm going to put the map US on the left. And this is going to yell at me because it's so big, whatever. And if we look for, the Giants tells us how to do it. And this is the dumb part. If we scroll down to the bottom of this file, it says paintable ground types. And then in the comment, this is what Giants put in here. It needs to be defined in the map i3D node terrain transfer group combined layer. Okay. Well, what does that mean? So let's go look. If I come in here and I search for terrain transform group, and then I scroll down and I see layer, overlay layer, combined layer. Now, if we look at this, see how it says combined layer, and then let's say right here, dirt. There's no combined layer that says dirt, but there's one that says mud. But for some reason, mud light, apparently for some reason the game for Riverbend Springs thinks that dirt should be mud light instead of dirt. Just super weird. But what, apparently Riverbend Springs is just muddy. That's fine. But they're only giving us, if we look, we kind of reorder this. So I'm going to reorder it so it makes sense. We have mud light and mud tracks. So we have mud light and mud tracks, right? So animal mud and dirt, that's what they reference them to. But that's, there's what? It will just tell me how many lines I have selected. All of these are in the map. These are all different types of ground cover that are in the map. I don't know how many lines. It's not telling me how many lines that I have selected, but it's a bunch. 20, 30 different textures that are already built into the map. So here we don't have them, but here we... Why? That's so dumb. So let's take... I like doing it in alphabetical order because that makes more sense to me. And this is also the reason why a lot of maps, when they have extra ground textures, they're all called asphalt. Because someone does this, they copy paste asphalt, asphalt, asphalt. They come up here and they go like this, copy, paste, oops, paste, copy, paste, and then they go. Now don't change the original one, that will break things. Asphalt cracks. And then concrete is ground type concrete. Put that next. It looks like 6 different types of concrete. Is that right? And then I'm going to come in here and say concrete is the normal one. Concrete shattered. Concrete pebbles. Concrete gravel. Concrete dirt. Whoops, dirt. And then there's also a dirt gravel. Right? But, and then we have to make sure that the thing at the end, this name right here has to be unique. So you can't have 5 of them named concrete. You have to name them different. So it could be just concrete 01, concrete 02. It doesn't matter. Personally, I like to just name them the same as the other one. Concrete gravel and concrete dirt. Now the reason they all in the UI, when you look at them, they all will say, like you've seen this on 22 maps all the time. The reason they all say concrete, 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 and then like you see like someone like Farmer Klein or something like that going through his map tour, and he's like, oh look, concrete. Oh look, another concrete. Oh look, another concrete. The reason is because the map authors never change this right here. Title is what shows up in the game. So if you don't change it, it's not going to show up. But if I go here, go I don't like this how the word asphalt is spelled. Asphalt cracks. Dark. asphalt, right? I'll have to type the word concrete again. DD paste. Concrete. Concrete. Gravel. Concrete. Sure. Now, when it loads in game, we'll see these names. But the last thing I want to explain that's really, really key that a lot of people don't get or doesn't make is it, what are these doing? Okay, if you look right here, if we look in the this is in the map file, asphalt loads asphalt 01 and asphalt 02. Now if we scroll up, we have asphalt 01 and asphalt 02. Those are texture layers, right? So each layer has its own name, and this combined layer combines multiple layers together and gives them some noise. How much like how dynamic it does it load, because basically it makes up that layer between asphalt 1 and asphalt 2. So every single tile that it prints is either going to be 1 or 2. And then it determines with randomness how random those are, right? And that's what the noise frequency says. So basically it's saying, hey, asphalt is made up of asphalt 01, asphalt 02. Asphalt cracks is made up of asphalt cracks and asphalt cracks. But you could make a new layer if you wanted, right? I could make a new layer just by copying and paste. I'll call it asphalt insane. And I'm going to make this a layer of all of them. Asphalt cracks, asphalt dark, asphalt light, and asphalt with twigs. All of them. I already have asphalt twigs. Perfect. So now I'm making a new one called Asphalt Insane. I'm going to leave the noise frequency at it. And you usually want to put the noise frequency, and I think you want the noise frequency matching the number of layers. But I'm going to just leave it alone at 2. You can make it more or less frequent if you want. And if we want to use that in the game, we just come here, create a new line right here, and put it in the game. Asphalt Insane. Crazy asphalt. And we should just call it insane. Okay, so I made a few changes. I'm gonna save everything I did. Save the map file. I'm gonna save this file. Now I'm gonna open the game. Now, I'm not going to go through and do all of these. I'm just doing these 2 groups, the concrete and the asphalt, as an example. We'll show you when we get into the game what it does and what it looks like. But we're not going to continue doing all of the layers. I did it for my Hutan Pantai playthrough because when I play the game, I want it to have all of the textures to paint with, so I can perfectly match what's there. If I'm like adding something, like if I place down a building that's on a piece of land that already has ground textures, and placing that building adds whatever ground textures came with the building, I want to be able to override that and fix it, right? That makes sense. I still don't know why that overview is not working. Doesn't matter. We come in here, construction, go into painting, and now look at all of the things we have to paint with. Oh, wonderful. And we have asphalt animal mud, we have asphalt cracks, and here's a key thing. these are ordered. The order in which these show up are I thought they were alphabetical, but apparently they're not. Animal mud. I thought they were alphabetical, but they're not, because animal mud's showing up first, but then dark asphalt and asphalt cracks. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, so now if we want to paint, right? Like normally you wouldn't be able to match this texture here because you don't have access to it. But now I do. See how I'm painting that texture? Or if we go here and we do this, we have animal mud and like, oh wait, I painted down something. I don't want that animal mud. I want to repaint what's already there. So I'm going to come in here and use this. This looks like the lighter part of that. This looks like a different part of it. This has like cracks in it. See the cracks? Right? So this is the asphalt with cracks. This is that other texture, dark asphalt. But it looks like the ground here is basically a combination of dark asphalt and light asphalt. Okay, well I can fix that. And then you have insane asphalt, right? Which as I paint it, if you look, it's painting all of them. It's painting cracks, dark, light, all of it. It's randomizing all of those different things. And actually we're seeing all of them. I don't think we're seeing the dark. We're not seeing dark. So I'm assuming that means that the noise frequency has to match the number of layers. But that also means that if we come in here, like there is a paint mode that they're using, which basically looks like asphalt dark and asphalt light together. So let's do asphalt combined, right? Copy, and then copy. 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 Save. Save. And so basically what we did is we added more asphalt. So if we scroll down more, if we look at the concrete, before we only had like two different kinds of concrete. We had this concrete dirt, right, which looks like this. But now we didn't have that before. We didn't have this before. This is a concrete with gravel. Here's a concrete with pebbles. And here's a concrete with cracks. We didn't have any of those textures before. Now we have access to them. And maybe like if we come over here, you can see them, right? Like if you see like right here, this is a great example. This right here, this area is, see the concrete cracks right here? Concrete gravel. If I place something here, I wouldn't be able to match that texture. Or this texture right here, which I just made bigger, I couldn't match it. And then there's one right here. This is the concrete no, it isn't. This is this one, right? I couldn't ever fix that because the game doesn't give you access to those textures. And if I wanted to do the same thing I did with the insane concrete, I could very easily do it just by redoing, like this is where's the insane one? Insane. Like I can easily fix the ground to look a lot better than it did now that I have access to all of those painting textures. See, look, I messed with the ground and now I made it back to normal. It totally looks normal now. Like, why doesn't the game give you that? I don't get it. So if we come back here to map US, map overview. Yes, I don't know. Whatever. we exited out of the game. We didn't save. But if we go back in, we should have our asphalt combined. We'll go back in one more time, and then we're going to look at the fields. So we're going to take some screenshots before we do that. But welcome in. Thank you very much. And thank you for the birthday wishes, everyone. That's wonderfully... it means a lot to me. Thank you very much. Eric, welcome in. Thanks for being here. Thanks for coming in. We are editing our own version of Riverbend Springs to fix things that Giants forgot or decided wasn't important, like being able to paint with all the ground textures. That seems like a really, really smart one, but apparently they didn't like it. There we go. We started a new game again. Yay. And then now we come over to our little area here. We can actually just paint it down again. So if you look at all the textures that are here. You've got like the grass, you've got the grass with the pebbles, you've got this weird concrete texture here. And then you've got this like open area texture that's kind of both the dark and the light. Well, now we have our own version of that. And I believe it's right here. Combined asphalt. Oh, you know what? I don't know. I'm not gonna say anything. But now I can just paint this randomly, and to see how it's already creating the randomness, right? All I'm doing is painting. If I wanted this lot to be bigger, I can make this lot bigger, right? Because I own the land. And it has that same like pattern. It has the same look. And if we want it to be, so right now, see how it's like the way it is? It's pretty random, but we can change that randomness and how random it is by changing the noise frequency. The higher number of noise frequency means more noise. Less, it means more changes. A lower number means less noise. So we can definitely change that. So we just recreated this paint texture as a paintbrush to use in game. And we just used it in game. Like that's how ground type mapping works. And so if you want, you could take every single combined layer here and put them in your thing to get paintable textures, or you can also get all of these, make your own. If you want a grass texture that is both has moss and patchiness to it, you could totally do that. You just have to combine these two layers and change the noise frequency however you want. For the most part, a lot of these combined layers here only have two things. But they don't have to. They can have as many as you want. You could have a dozen things in there, and it will just randomly choose as you're painting which ones you're doing, which is important. All right, the next thing we're going to do today is the one thing that gets me about Giants maps I don't like. And I really wish the map background was here, but it sort of doesn't make sense. If we look at the farmland, see this inner map? Oh, wait, hold on. Copy. Here. Paste. Replace. I think the other one that it was already using was the red file. And now this is the correct file. Anyways, the red file is fine. It's actually easier to see the differences. So if we look here at this test map that Giants creates. By the way, the reason if you ever see a map on someone's playthrough that it just has this red background. It's because they didn't bother to change that file. No big deal. But as you can see, there's lots of land we can't buy. Now, it doesn't match with the actual lands because this background image isn't working. But there's lots of stuff we can't buy. And like this whole block over here, can't buy it. Can't buy the river. That kind of makes sense. But this whole area up here where the train station is, can't buy it. Where the rope course is, can't buy it. All of these other areas on the map, you can't buy. It's in the game thinks of it as something called unbuyable land. And to further reflect that, like, this is what the map looks like. So one thing I like to do, and this is just my way of doing it, is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to click print screen. I'm going to take a screenshot of the map as it exists. So now I have a copy of it, so I remember where the farmlands are. Remembering where the numbers relate to the actual fields and the places on the map is important. Okay, so we're going to quit out, and then we're going to actually edit our map. So we don't need this anymore. Hopefully the overview will work next time. We're going to open up the map in GE. Now, this is something I like to do on whenever I play a Giants map. But there's plenty of other maps that when you go into the map, there's some stuff you can't buy. And it's typically called unbuyable land. In Giants 10, in GE 10, the new way of doing it is if you click on this button right here, this is your terrain info layer paint mode. So you're painting info layers. If I come down here to farmland, so terrain info layer, this tab says info. This is your info tab. I'm going to choose farmlands. And I'm going to choose farmland 1. And it's totally hanging. Come on. Come on. So where are we? Let's find somewhere we want to edit. Where do we want to edit? This triangle of land over here. I want to edit some of this land. And right now, if we look, we can't. I turn on the info layer farmland, and we go to scroll all the way down to farmland 0 to not buyable. See how it says not buyable here? The fact that it says not buyable is silly. It's a really dumb change. It's if I look here for not buyable, right? I'm just looking in the map file, the i3D file. Right? See how it lists out all our farmlands? Farmland 1, farmland 2. They can be called anything now. So the fact this is called not buyable is somewhat immaterial. I could edit this to say Giants hates me, and it would totally work. It doesn't matter. All this does, all this name does, find, is it populates this dropdown in the editor. That's all it does. It's its only purpose. And in game, it'll actually show you farmland X, farmland Y, and there's a menu somewhere that shows that text. Whatever. But the way this works is these numbers relate to the land number in some way. Basically, there's a math way of doing this. 0 is basically 1 plus 1, 2. Like, it's a way of doing it. I don't care. I use a drop down. But basically, whoops, undo. If I zoom out a little bit, right, and I look around, all of the stuff that's white is stuff I can't buy. Right? And some of that is makes sense, some of it doesn't. Like, let's look at this piece of land right here. Right? If I buy, this is actually multiple pieces of land. Actually, let's look at the one by this shop. The shop's easier to see. So this piece of land right here, that piece of grass that I'm going towards slowly because holding so many mouse buttons. If you buy this land right here by the shop, do you see how you're not allowed to mow all of this grass or harvest any of these trees down to the river's edge? To me, personally, that's kind of a bummer. And also, there's a fence here. There's a fence here right along the wall. And you don't see it here because it's loaded dynamically, but there's a fence there. But when you're mowing this grassland, which is grass, you can't mow all the way up to the fence because it doesn't allow you to. To me, that's kind of dumb. Okay, well, how do we fix it? How do we make it so we can actually mow everything? I'm a lawn guy. A grass guy. I like to mow everything. I want to be able to mow everything. How do I do that? Let's go back to our screenshot. Right? Where's our screenshot? Screenshots and pictures. Screenshots. It's kind of an eyesore because it doesn't have the background, but we're talking about farmland 84 is that plot of land. Farmland 84. So that's the reason why I took a screenshot. So I come in here, go to 84, and now that land is highlighted in white. Now the way this tool works is when you're in info layer paint mode and you're selected on the farmland, anytime you press this brush, it's going to paint whatever that land is in white. So see if I go up here, now this farmland contains all of this extra grass, right? I'm making the farmland bigger. Now you have control over your paintbrush size by using your scroll wheel. You can change it from being a square brush to a round brush if you really want. Sometimes when I'm trying to draw perfectly straight lines, I'll use the square brush. Otherwise, I'll use a round brush right here. I think there's a hotkey to switch these types. I don't really know what they are. So I'm going to make it so that not only can I mow that, but I also want to be able to mow right up to the river. So we're going to make our brush bigger. We're going to come down and basically up to the water's edge. I'm going to make that land owned by me. Right? So we're going to just quickly go around this thing, paint it. Now, one of the problems here that you're quickly seeing, right, especially like right now, is I can't see what I'm doing. These stupid trees are in the way. Let's get the trees out of the way. How do you do that? We're going to get out of info layer paint mode. I'm going to click on one of the trees. Just one. It's right here, American Elm Stage 1. I'm going to scroll all the way up to the top where it says Trees. Scroll down over here and change the attribute visibility. And I'm going to uncheck visibility. And then I'm going to click off the tree that I was selected on. Click off. And now I can see the ground, which is super handy. So now I can go back into train info layer paint mode and see that, oh, well, when I was painting around here, I totally messed up. Now, you don't want to undo. You never want to undo when you're painting info layers. What you're going to do is switch back to the not buyable, which is this part right here, and redo it. And then I'm going to switch back to 84 and do that. Now, if you like accidentally paint over another farmland, you just switch over to that farmland, repaint it. You're basically you're painting the pixels. You can see them being square pixels in your viewport. You're basically controlling those square pixels. And you can't get any more detail than this. So this is one of the This is one of the ways that the game is optimized. But basically, each pixel is as much detail as you're going to get. So you're never going to get a perfect curve in an info layer, because what the game does is it saves an image file on your hard drive that basically has 1 pixel per layer, and it has a shade from 0 to 255, a color from 255, 0 to 255 when it saves it. So I'm going to make all of this grassland around this field all owned by the field. And that's what I'm going to do. So now this farmland has a different shape, right? It definitely has a different shape. I'm going to fix this right here because I don't like not straight lines. Right? And so now that field has a different shape. We hit save. What this does when it saves, it takes a little while to save, but what it does is it rewrites that info layer farmland file, the one we talked about right here. Farmlands, info layer farmlands. It's basically creating this PNG file. It's not a PNG file. You can't actually look at it. If we look at our directory structure, it's not actually a PNG file. Go in here, we go info layer paint. CO says a GRLE file. For whatever reason, Giants likes to store those files as a compressed format. I don't know why. It's probably some kind of optimization. But like, you can get an example here. Like this is where mud is on the map. So there's lots of mud on the map. Basically every field is painted in mud. And that's why you see the kind of outline of where the fields are painted in mud. But if we scroll in, see how some of it is white and some of it is black? Basically, each pixel, as you scroll in, each pixel represents a yes or no. Is this texture mud dark 01 on this pixel of ground or not? If it's white, the answer is yes. If it's black, the answer is no. And so every single pixel for the entire map, which is 2048 by 2048, has a color. 0 or 1. It's a yes or no for the weight files. Weight files are easy to understand. Weight files, but the rest of these files, the info layer ones, look more like this. If you look at them, this is the dem file, and see how this has a lot more shading to it. This is how the terrain contours. Because there's a lot more shading to it, it's not just a 0 or 1, it's a 0 to 255. And so this is how the terrain is saved. It's saved as a dem file. But the info layer files, if you were to decode and get them back to a PNG and look at it, that's what it would look like. It would look a lot more like the dem file than the weight files. That's basically what it's doing. It's doing all of that in the background whenever you hit save. The next thing you're going to do is in your console, you're going to look and you're going to see, okay, did it save? Yes or no? 10:02. Yeah, it saved just a minute ago. So now I'm good. I'm not going to close this. I'm just going to open the game back up. I'm hoping that background thing is going to be fixed. Let's open the game up and see our changes. And we haven't created a save file yet, but we can. One thing that's key, and you've probably seen this before, is when a map needs a new save. You ever wonder why that is? The reason that a map would need a new save is let me create the save game. Let the game start, do its thing. Creating a new save game, going to Burbank Springs Gaming, continue, whatever. We're going to look at this. We're going to create a save, and then we're going to show you what it looks like. Just so you understand what's actually happening. Sometimes understanding what's happening in the background actually helps, logically, your brain to understand what's going on. If you understand what's going on in the background, it makes sense. So we go here, escape, escape, Now our map is weird. It looks weird. And does anyone remember why? So save game. We're gonna call this map editing. Escape. Save. All right. Let's look. Okay, what happened? Does anyone know? When we were editing, we turned off the trees. So now there's no trees. And this is what Riverbend looks like with no trees at all. It looks kind of funky, huh? It looks like a totally different map. Now, granted, not all of the trees are gone. Like, these smaller trees are gone. But most of the trees are just not there. It actually looks kind of cool. This is our map overview. And now our map overview works. So, now this little overview picture works much better. Let's take another screenshot because the last screenshot with the red was hurting my eyes. We're going to zoom out. Look at our map like this. Take a screenshot, print screen. I'm going to draw my square so I can see everything and only see what I want. That looks much better. But there's no trees, so it looks kind of weird. It doesn't matter. Let's go to GS teleport 84, because that's the one we were working on. So 84 is this field, right? When you teleport to a field, it just teleports you to the middle of that field, right? Well, we didn't actually change the map at all, other than turning the trees off. But what did we change? If we look at our farmlands here, now when we scroll and look at our farmlands, but 84 now goes all the way up to the river. You see that? That's super important. What if I wanted it to wrap up around... I think I should also include this little corner piece right here. So let's do that. Let's make it include that corner piece. And then the other thing is what if this building right here... Actually, let's just go into construction mode. It's much easier to see. This building right here has a bunch of land right here and a bunch of free space. And this building's not being used for anything. I think there's a sell point here. But other than that, it's not being used for much. What if I wanted to be able to... This is the dairy. What if I wanted to be able to put a silo right here? Or put like a mini dairy to double my capacity or whatever. How would I do that? Well, let's look at it. So, save. Hopefully it saves my position. Welcome into Jake and Model Houseman. Sorry, I saw you guys come in. I just didn't say hi. My bad. I'm going to focus on what I'm doing. How would I do that? Whoops. Never right-click on this screen because you'll delete. So, we already fixed this. And now we wanted to fix it so it goes right up to the train. So let's make it go up to the train. We're just going to paint like a paintbrush. It's just like the paintbrush in game, except I have way more control. I really wish this control right here, this paintbrush, the way this paintbrush looks and feels, I wish you could turn that on. You can't, but I wish you could. Okay, so now this new farmland is going to be our new farmland. So 84 is going to wrap around. You're going to have access to all of these trees. So if you buy this land, you cut down all of these trees all the way up to the river's edge, which is great. That's what I want. But now I want to turn this little plot right here where this building is. I want to own this plot because I want not necessarily to delete the buildings. That's not really possible. I mean, it's possible, but it's not possible at the same time. I want to still be able to place my own stuff down here. Maybe a fill station or something. Whatever. It doesn't matter. I just want to be able to place stuff down when I play the game. But if we look back at our image, right? These are all of the farmlands on the game. And if we look and we search 84, 85, 84 seems like one of the highest numbers. 88 is it down? There's an 88 down here, 91, 92. 90. I know how Giants thinks, so it looks like, from my perception, if I'm right, it looks like 92 is the highest numbered farmland. That's the biggest number I can see. So let's look at 92. So we're going to open this drop down and go down to 92. And I'm going to zoom out quick. So it's faster to zoom out. So what I'm doing here is I'm holding down the right mouse button, right? And I'm zooming out. And then I go back in info layer paint mode, and now I can see it. So 92 is here. Am I looking at the map upside down? I am. Let's not look at the map upside down, just to make it easy. Okay. I'm just doing WASD and moving around while holding down the right mouse button. Okay, so if we go back into info layer paint mode, 92 is right here. So this plot of land right here is 92, which relates to our image somewhat. Yeah, that works. They don't want you to own the train stuff, so they're not allowing you to. But you can't own this piece of land over here, which is annoying. Well, we could fix that. So 92 is the highest number. Let's look at 93. Where's 90? So it's in my list. Where is 93? 93 is up here on the top right. I didn't notice that. Oh, it's because it's behind the balance thing. 93 is up there. 94. 93 is the BGA. Actually, we saw that in the code, right? In the code here, the highest number is 93, which is the BGA. And show on farmland screen here says false, which means no, you can't actually buy that farmland, which is why we couldn't see it. But the highest number is 93. But the game allows me to have 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 100. And if I hit save, switch back over to our code, open the map again, we can see that the list gives me up to 100. But if I want more farmlands than that, I could just do this. Right? Yep. And then type in 10. So let's say I want up to 110 in the map. I want to be able to add all the way up to 110, right? My map edit's not going to allow me this because it doesn't keep those two things synchronized. So I do have to exit out of this and then go back in real quick. Only takes a second. But I've edited the farmlands. The total. Whoops, that one's wrong. Let's get that right first. 109. And then hit OK. Close that because I don't want to mess it up by editing one in one thing. If you edit like the same file in two different programs, you can tend to mess things up. So it's always good to close the one that you're not currently working on. Come on. Show me the map. And we're back to where we were. And so now, if we look back to our terrain info layer farmland thing, and I go in here to farmlands, now my drop-down list goes all the way up to 110. Now, none of these are set, so 93 is not set. Or 93 is set. But 94, there's nothing for 94. There's nothing for 95. There's nothing for 96. And so you can make those farmlands wherever you want. So let's go to 94 because that's the next one on the list. And we're going to go to that little area right here by the shop and turn that into a farmland. So it's faster to navigate while you're not in info layer farmland mode. Because I can use WASDF, hold down the shift key, and just zoom, zoom, zoom. So we're going to make the whole shop area in a bunch of different ways buyable. So we're going to go into info layer mode. And I'm on farmland 94. So now if I paint, anything that I paint right now is 94. To make sure I get underneath the building, I'm going to go underneath the building like this. I'm going to use a big brush to make sure I don't miss anything. sometimes if you paint underneath a building or around a building, you might miss a small part of it. So now I've set it up so that I can buy all of this land. And so I'm going to go right up to the fence. And you see there, I messed it up. I was like, oh, what my round paintbrush kind of messed up there. I'm going to go up to just inside the fence. There. This was 84, right? I think. And now I just repaint the stuff that I messed up. Switch back to 94. Scroll up. And the dairy includes this building, so we're going to go across and include that building too. I'm going to go right up to this one. I kind of need a square brush right now. Square. Because it's all straight lines. We're going to go right up to the other farmland. Paint underneath the building to make sure. And then to there. Perfect. And now this is a new farmland. We're going to clean it up a little bit. That. And like this. And then I'll have this also include there. So that, what farmland is that? That one is 83. So if I go to 83, 83 for me, like if it's grass, I want to mow it. So I want to be able to mow everything all the way up to the edges. So I'm going to go like this, all the way up to the edge of the grass that I can see. Make my brush smaller to get in these little corners. And then do the same thing I did over on that other farmland along the river's edge. So I'm going to add in all the way down to the river's edge, owning that farmland. And maybe I'm not going to actually mow down here. Maybe I just want to add more trees along the river's edge. Maybe I want to add a dock. Maybe I want to add a bridge. Maybe I want to add something that requires me to place something on this piece of land. That's why you'd want to do this. Right? That's why you'd want these lands to be owned in this way. Whoops. Forgot to hit the Alt button. So for me to zoom out, I hold down the Alt key on my keyboard, and I'm right-clicking and scrolling up and down. And then if you middle mouse button while holding the Alt key, you can move the screen around left to right, up, down, whatever. And if I hold on the left mouse button, I can tilt my camera. And that's how all those buttons work. That needs to be fixed. That's a weirdness. There we go. Because if I own it, I'm going to want to mow it. And technically, we should leave the road owned by the map. So we're going to leave the road owned by the map. So I'm going to come back in here. I'm going to undo what I did, sort of, just by painting again. So I'm going to come in here. And this thoroughfare through the middle, we're going to leave it owned by the map because it's a road. But everything else is owned. So we hit save, and then we have to go back into gameplay, by the way, because we almost forgot. Actually, to go to map. We have to wait for the save to go through. Hey, Ronnie, welcome in. Wait for the save to go through. Come on, come on, come on. And find our, where's, not map, no map. Or turn our trees back on because it looks really dumb when we load into the game without our trees. So let's turn our trees back on and then save one more time. Now, that is not the only thing you have to do. If you want to add a new farmland, that's not the only thing. You have to do one more thing, which is, you have to do something in the XML. Anytime you make a change in the map, for adding something new, a lot of times, and this happens with mods, this happens with buildings, placeables, vehicles, whatever, there almost always has to be a one-to-one change in the XML. So if I add a new node in a vehicle, I'm going to need to add a node, a reference to that node in the XML. And that's the same thing with farmlands. So if I come in here, we just added farmland 94. So I'm going to copy this line. I'm going to paste it below. And I'm going to go to 94. And I'm going to say price scale. This is a building, so I'm going to say 0.6, something like that. We're going to let the helper own it because there's no trees on it. So the helper's probably the logical one to own it. Now I'm going to make it a little bit cheaper than something else of that size because it's got a big building on it. I can't really use very much of it. Actually, let's do 0.4 just for fun. And then we're going to hit save. And so now we've changed our farmland to reference this new farmlands file, to reference the new farmland we just built in the game. Remember, farmland 94 is all of the areas right now that are white. So when we go into the game, this is going to be buyable as a plot of land, which means I'll be able to place stuff down there. Right? And so come in here, here's fine. And let's load back into our save game. Now here's the key, and we talked about this before. I didn't actually finish talking about it, so let's talk about it real quick. If we open our map file, this is what our map looks like. And then over here, we're gonna compare it with our save game file. So this is save game 5, I believe. Now if you look at your save game file, just to compare, and let's make this bigger so you guys can see it. I'm gonna have to live edit the screen, and so I can compare them. But we need the dates and we need the file names. So give me a half a second. I'm going to take this. Is that what I want? It is what I want. Nice. So I'm just going to zoom in really quick on what we're working on. I'll reset it in a second. So if we look here, this is your save file. This is the save file that was created when you started your new save game. Now if we look at, there's a few files here. See what says info layer, info layer, info layer. Ooh, what are those? Density, 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 density. What are those? Those look like the data files. Density, density, density. So see how these files, and if we switch to list view, actually not list view, detail view. There we go. If I look at density maps fruit.gdm, the date is 12/6/909 a.m. That's when I created the map. If we look here, this is 10:09. This is when I created the save game. So 15 minutes ago. But you notice that this does not say 10:24, which is when I saved the map most recently. So these files do not transfer over. If we go down to the one that's really important, which is the farmlands file, it's not changing. Our data directory is changing. It should be. I'm not sure why it's not. Wait, hold on. Shoot. I think I just broke the base game map. I did it again. Info layer farm. Yeah, it should be saving. Hold on, let me check and make sure I didn't break the base game. Because I could have. I don't really care. But I could have. Info layer farmland properties. Yeah, Wednesday, November 27th. I haven't. It's not saving those files. I don't know what's going on. But anyways, the main point here is that the difference between those two files is your save game file, right? When you have a save game file, it creates these files for the save game. So there's a bunch of stuff like fruits, ground foliage, height, stones, weeds, height map, whatever, that never get created again until you create a new save game. They then, once it gets copied over here, it basically literally copies it from here over to here, and then it never touches it again. So any changes you make while you're playing get saved in these files versus changes here, which get saved in the map file. Farmlands, if you notice, Farmlands is not in this list. So farmland XML is in this list, but farmlands plural is not. So the info layer farmlands file is not here, which means you can change those things live, sort of, without creating a new save game. So this is with no save game needed. So when you get in a map that has something that has no save game needed, that means that they didn't change any of these files. Because the only reason you need to create a new save game because it needs to copy those files over here. But most of the files are stored in your map, so you never have to change. You have to worry about them, and you can live change without having to worry about creating a new save game. That's always the annoying part, right? So we're not going to see this live. We need to quit out. I didn't realize I still had the game running. That's silly of me. We might need this file, so I'm going to leave it open. And we did save our game. So blah, 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 save. That's saved. This one should make sure I'm just double checking everything. I'm going to make sure I save everything. Save. Because I want to see this field take all the way up to the corner and this field over here show up so I can use it. So 1027 right now. Perfect. So this is done saving. Close that for now. And we'll open up the game one more time. So we're opening an existing save game file. We're not creating a new save game, but we're still going to see those farmland changes. And the reason we're still going to see those farmland changes is because in this map file that we've created, we've made those changes, but they don't need to be copied over to the farmland file. So I come in here, I look at this construction. Oops, not construction. Farmland. Come up here. So now 84, it wraps around. See that? And now before, we didn't have this before. Now we have a 94. And if you look, it's exactly the way we did it, where the road still goes through the middle. 94. And not only that, 83 wraps around this corner too. And it goes all the way to the river's edge. So all of those changes. So now we can actually buy this. So if we wanted to buy this, we buy this land. See how it's super cheap? The reason it's super cheap, again, back to this thing right here. We said, hey, it's going to be 0.4. This 0.4 means it's a price scale. So it's a multiplier. Price per hectare is $60,000. So $60,000 times 0.4, which is going to be, I don't know, something. $24,000. So this is going to be $24,000 per hectare. And then the game says that this is 1.47 hectares. So $24,000 times 1.47 equals 35.395. So that's how the calculation of the land is. So if you do change and make the farmlands bigger, then it will actually cause the game to make this piece of land more expensive than base game. So if you looked at a default map, this land would not be worth $315. It would be like $274 because I added a bunch of land mass to this map. Now you can compensate for that by going in here and changing this price scale to 0.9, and then it'll be closer to what it was. But that's essentially the work of it, right? You can add new farmlands, And then, so if I come in here back to this one and I buy it, yes. And then I go in here. I want to, the trees are back. That's good. GS teleport. 84. We'll run 84 again. And we're going to look at this farmland. We're just going to hit construction mode. Now I'm going to come in here. I can see the building. I can't do anything with it. I don't own it, but I do own the land. So I can come in here and this is the dairy, right? These are all base game things, but whatever. Let's pretend that I want this. Come in here, hit B to be able to overlap, and boom. I own this land, so I can put a silo on this land if I really want. Right? Actually, let's zoom out of our view because we no longer need to be resized. Sorry, it's not easy to do. And if you, as you can see, I just placed a silo on a piece of land that no one else can ever buy. It's not possible to buy that land because base game, that land is unbuyable. It's part of the unbuyable land. As you see, like I can't click on the river. I can't click the river. Now, what if you just wanted to buy all of the unbuyable land all at once? That's an easy change too. Let's make that happen. Let's just say I don't want to deal with painting stuff. I just want all of the unbuyable land. I want to make it all buyable. Pretty easy. Copy, paste. 255. We're going to make this owned by the farmer. And I'm going to make it... I want all of the unbuyable land to be free. All of it. All at once. Personally, I like to be able to buy little pieces of land and make these edits to the map. But let's say you just want to make a simple change to your map. You just want all of the unbuyable land to be buyable. You're going to go like that. Hit save. And go into your game. Like, it's literally that easy. And then all of the unbuyable land will now be buyable. And we might want to do this show on farmland screen, but it's not a big deal. Now, the kind of stuff that will need a new save game is our maps edits you can make, and that's totally fine. But if you move trees, they will move in game. I'll show you that in a second. But if you like alter the land or alter like make a hole in a field, it's not going to see that right away because you're not creating a new save game. Sometimes it needs that new save game. So now we're here. We have the land. We go back to a farmland screen. Yada, yada. Unowned. But now if you see, the whole map is gray. Do you see the whole map is gray? That's because if I click on the river, now I can buy all of the unowned farmland, which is farmland 255. And I can click buy. And it'll let me buy it. Now, what makes me wonder, does farmland support a name? But now I can buy all of the unbuyable land all at once. And I'd be able to own it all. And I'd get it for free because we set the price scale to be 0. If we set the price scale to be 1, let's do 0.1 just for the fun of it. And then, can I just reload the map? DT, I don't have it in here. No, I have to exit. I don't know if this is going to work. I'm trying it. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if this is going to work. How do you know what properties are supported? How do you know? Is there a way to know? I mean, it seems like you guys probably watch me and you're like, hey, he knows everything. Why do I know everything? I don't. I have a secret weapon. And the secret weapon is the only type of documentation Giants provides, which is right here. So I'm going to go into my data directory. I'm going to go up one directory. I'm going to go into SDK, not SDK, sorry. I'm going to go into shared, XML, documentation, and like farmlands is right here. So I'm going to open the farmlands file while we load our map. Start. And this is the farmlands file. This is the file that defines how the farmlands should work. So we have farmlands. These are all the properties that are supported. Farmland, price scale 1. And if I mouse over price scale, see how it says the price scale of the farmland? It gives me a little bit of a description about what that thing is for. Most of them are very, very self-explanatory. That's kind of the idea behind XML, and using XML as the code language for doing all of this because it's self-documenting. But sometimes indicator position, this is the world position of the indicator. So where the indicator exists on the world. So we can actually change that, which is really cool. Indicates that the farmland should be shown on the map screen or not. Yes or no. Is it a default property? No. What is the area of the farmland in hectares? You can actually assign the actual area and or a price. If you want the price to be not automatically calculated, you want it to be just a fixed thing, even though it might be different, they allow you to do that. But the cool thing is they did say right here, name. I use the word title, so it's not going to work. So I guessed. Sometimes it's called name, sometimes it's called title. If we look, farmland here, we click here. See how 255 is right here in the middle of like this nothingness? I want it to be further north. So I'm going to move it. But now it's worth a little bit. It's worth 0.1 for all of this land is going to be $847, $897,000. That's a lot of money. But when we try to click on it, it still says farmland 255. So let's fix that. World position. Where do I want where do I want the indicator for the open areas to be? I want it to be right here on this little plot of land right here. Right there. See that? So let's go to, that's just 255. GS 255. Perfect. I'm right where I want to be. And now I'm going to walk north. Nice and slowly. Thank you, Giants, for making our run speed like not run speed at all, but like fast walk. That's super not useful at all. That's a nice water tower. I'll have to steal it. All right, so I want the label for this field to be right here. And this location is 996, 981. Let's remember that. So this should be name equals it's the no longer unbuyable land. And if we go back to our spec, the price, I'm gonna say price equals $1. It's gonna be Price is Right rules. And we want the indicator position uh 988 comma 9, what was it? Where were we? No, here. 996 981. 996 981. Here. 996. Now commas. 981. End quote. Now hopefully leave the price scale at 0. And we're going to make it $1. Because that makes sense to me. Let's quit again, because you have to reload the game to do that. I've saved this file. And one more time into the game. I load in and out of games so often when modding. So much. I love that. No longer on buyable land. I think I'm losing my mind. Because I have to wait for the game to load so long. Oh, there must have been an error somewhere. That's fine. I don't care. Now let's look. Did it work? Farmland. Farmland. No, the farmland file is totally broken. What did I do? Did I break it? I think I broke it. I broke it. Log. Find. Error. Economy farmland. Attempt to perform arithmetic multiplier on a number or nil. Yeah, I totally broke it. What did I do? Apparently it doesn't like my price 1. Oh, you know what? I bet it needs either price or price scale. Because none of the farmlands work. It doesn't like this change at all. We will get it to work, though. I'm determined now. You don't miss the endless game loading, Kerbo? I know. I think I've loaded into this game 1,000 times at least now. Because I go in, I check something, I quit. I go in, I check something, I quit. And not only that, the secret, by the way, is if you hit your tilde key twice, you open this menu, and if you type quit, it just quits right back out without ever seeing the screen. So it lets you go in, and it lets you go out just that little bit faster. And there's also, I don't have it on this mod folder, but there is a developer tools, developer power tools by the same guy who made power tools, which has a bunch of console commands for reloading the game. I haven't actually used them yet, but supposedly it makes it faster. Okay, farmlands are still broken. It doesn't like me setting a price. Even though the documentation says you can set the price, but the documentation says you can, but apparently you can't. It's not letting me. So that would probably be a bug in their code. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to make it free. So we're going to do this and remove that. Save. So I come in here, quit. I type the word quit very fast because I do it all the time. And then I come right back into the game without changing anything else. So price scale worked. We saw that price scale worked before. The things we're trying to change now is the name and where the indicator is. And I believe the indicator is a world position, not a map position. Now, what is the difference? What's a world position? If we look into our spec, actually the spec will tell me. Indicator position. See how it says world position? Now, in your placeable file, if you look at your placeables file, where's the placeables file? Placeables. We look at our placeables file. It used to be here. It's not here anymore. But basically, you see these like this position thing right here? That's a relative position based on the map. So if I look here, click on this building. Oops, that's not the button I want. I click on this building. this building has a position. See this arrow right here? And if I look at it, that position is -7, 49, 234. That's the relative, the map position of that building. That's the map position. The world position of that building is totally different, because the world position is based off of this, and world position has top left as 0, 0. Is it top left or bottom left? I forget. One of the corners is 0, 0. So everything is calculated up. I believe it's bottom left and everything's calculated up. But we'll check in the game right now. But the world position is relative to that 0, 0 point. But on the map, when you're building a map, I don't know why I'm moving so... Oh, not holding the shift key. That would help. You're building a map. The 0, 0 of the map is not the world position. The 0, 0 of the map is right here in the center. It's the very, very center of your map. Those are two different things. So the actual position of a node within your scene graph, this is your scene graph, the position of a node in your scene graph is based off of 0, 0 coordinates. So it can have negative numbers to move in all of the different directions. Let's see if our farmland screen works now. It does. It's working again. And hopefully it's in the right place. Come into farmland. Click on here. Where's the number? Does anyone see it? I don't see it. It should be right here. Like, it should be right here in this little thing right here. And the only thing I can think of is that I defined it wrong. If I come in here, it's not letting me buy it either. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it is. Oh. It's all the way down here. So the world position, it doesn't like my world position. It's not a world position. Oh. I bet it's actually a real position. So I want it to be... Don't click on the map. Can't move around the map at all if you're clicked on it. So it's going down there. So this tree... No, it's relative to that. What's the location of this thing? I want it to be right here. So -26. So I'm gonna take this. Copy. I'm guessing here, so we're trying to figure this out. I don't think it's a world position. I think it's a relative position. So this would be if it's a world position. This is the relative position. Let's see if that puts it in the right place. Undo. Put that back where it was. But here's the cool thing, is it says no longer unbuyable land, and it's trying to fit it into this little square thing. But it actually says up here, farmland, no longer unbuyable land. So it got our name. The name worked. Sweet. Buy all the land. Good. Save. Okay, that works. So that part works. See if it actually works. I don't know. Sometimes. But anyways, like this is their documentation. I made my documentation all black because I can't stand the colors they used. But this is how you get the documentation. This is actually a documentation thing. Exists for everything. Like all the stuff. So if you want to figure out how to make a vehicle, oh, there's a file for Twister. Check this out. This is the configuration file for a Twister. Cool. Destruction area. Oh, you can make this. So you can make your own Twister. The destruction radius in which objects are affected by the Twister. You could turn this thing up to like 500, and you could have a Twister that destroys your map, like completely, or just passes over your map without doing any damage. That's awesome. I've never looked at that file. The one I look at, I'm like, if you look at the ones that I have highlighted in lighter purple here, those are the ones that I've looked at before. And the one I spend my most time in is the placeables file. I look at this file so often. Like everything about placeables is in here. All of the values, if you have an unloading station. Okay, you can have a station. It doesn't have to be called loading station. It can be called your mom's station. And it'll show, that name will show up somewhere. Is a loading station a train station? Yes or no? Like hide and price. All of the secrets are in that file. And I'm going to do a different video series that's going to be a recorded series. But not teaching people how to mod. I want to teach people how to teach yourself. That to me is key. And these files are actually part of that. If you want to figure out how to do something, the game already does it. Just stop and think for a second. If something is possible, it's because they built it into the game, which means that there's something somewhere that does what you're thinking of. And so all you have to do is find it and then look at how they did it, read it, try to understand it, copy it, and mess with it, just like I'm doing with the farmlands. I don't know what these numbers are supposed to be. I have no idea. They didn't tell me anything. I'm literally like live trying stuff out to see if it works, to see what happens. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. That's the key. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So we come in here and go into here. You have to be, but that's the key, is you need to be willing to fail. You need to be willing to try stuff out, and you might fail. So now, here, look. Now I figured out, buy all the land. See, now I have a little button here that says buy all the land. Buy all the land. And now, that farmland, I can buy all of it. Notice that it's not buying field 94, because 94 is one of the custom ones we created. So the overall land of stuff that you can't buy on Riverbend Springs is 149 hectares. So 149 hectares of Riverbend Springs is not buyable, which also means it's not farmable. To me, that's a bummer. To me, that's a misstep. To me, that's a failure. Here's another example of why I think that's a failure. So let's jump to 82. This is why I don't like Giants maps. Whoops, I typed 83. I want 82. We come in here and we come down here, and I'm going to go for a little walk. It's a very slow walk because the walking speed is very slow in this game. Actually, let's just do this. Let's just turn on the speed. Super speed toggle. Yes, go. Now I can go faster. What? Let's try again. Anytime you go in super speed, sometimes if you go too fast, you get caught in fences or stuff. If I come over here and go across this bridge, if we look on the map, there is pathways down here. So if I come over here and I walk off this thing, there is a path here. There's trails here. There's, like, giants built trails. And they built this whole island. What if I wanted to have a campsite right here? I couldn't, because this island is not buyable. I'm obviously not going to be able to edit the island because of these rocks and stuff like here. I won't be able to do any kind of terrain deformation or anything like that. But this whole island that they spent time making it look like something is not buyable. There's a farm. There's a land here. There's some kind of building. I'm inside the building now. Whoops. Is not buyable. I can't do anything with this land. It's just there. Right? Is it a sell point or something? It's not even anything real. Like, what the heck? Like, what is this for? It's decoration. Let's go over there again. Like, even if it's decorative, though, to me, and this is just the way I look at it, even if it's decorative, like, I can't get in here. Like, I should be able to. How do I get in there? That's a good question. Let's walk the path. Is there a back door? No. Oh, there's a little log bridge here. That's cool. There's lots of back doors to this property, but there's no way to get in. What the hell? Like, so in other words, like, that's my point, right? Is Giants spent all of the time modeling this whole place, and you can't get into it. It looks kind of like a construction site, in all honesty. It looks like something that's going to become something, and maybe this is one of the construction things on the map. Does anyone know? But right now, it isn't anything. It actually looks like a silo complex of some kind where you have to build the building. But right now, it's nothing. You can't access this land unless you edit the farmlands and make that island accessible. I don't get why that kind of stuff happens. I like to be able to edit all the things. And so I want to be able to edit stuff like that. I want to be able to add, I want to be able to come in here and chop down the trees. I mean, Riverbend is pretty horrible for trees. All of the trees on the entire map are these fiddly trees. Like, if you want to do forestry on Riverbend, you're kind of shit out of luck. Because you can't. Are there any, like, this area right here next to the BGA is like the only forestable area on the entire map that I can see. Oh, sorry, I'm like moving too fast. Yeah, there's like no regular trees. There's no forestry on this map. I don't understand why not. There's this area here, I guess. This area is forestry. But there's so many of the regular trees in here, like the fiddly trees, that forestry is going to be a pain in the butt. Hey, Jewel, welcome in. Thanks for being here. Hey, the real Ringles. Ringles? Yeah. But what did we do? What do we do? We have a button here that says buy all the land. And we put it in the right place. We called it buy all the land. It's a little unfortunate that the farmland colon is here. To make it fit with Giants' theme, we should probably just call it like 00 or something like that. But now we have the ability to buy all the land. If we wanted to make certain things on here, like the vehicle shop or like this whole area here, like look at the animal dealer. This whole entire giant piece of land at the animal dealer is unbuyable. Well, I don't that's not fair. I want to buy it. I want to buy the animal dealer. But why? I want to buy the animal dealer. Giants. Took the animal dealer away from me. I want to buy it. I want to cut down these trees. I want to mess with these rocks. I want to buy it. So, let's make it viable. We have to make sure we paint underneath the buildings really well because we don't want extra stray pixels. Sometimes you get that. And then let's make all of the grass mowable because I want to be able to mow the grass. And let's switch back to this view. Not buyable. Fix the part that we broke because the trees were in the way. Oh, you see that little white spot there? I missed something. 95. Gotta make sure you get underneath all the buildings. Gotta make sure you paint fluidly. Now we're gonna hit save. Now we're gonna come back to our farmlands file. We're gonna come over here to this. Copy, paste. Paste. 95. This is everything else. I'm gonna call this the farmer because there's only 5 for 6 NPCs in the entire game, which is stupid, stupid, stupid. Come on, Giants, get with the program. Hit save. We're gonna quit out of the game. Not gonna do anything else. Save. Make sure I save my file. Go back into the game one more time. Happy Soul Day. I like that. Happy Soul Day. It's my soul day. I like that. Thanks, Tennessee Farmer. Welcome in. Thanks for being here. Oh. And there is ways to make the trees better, but that's outside the scope of this video. Right now, we're making the oh, really cheaply too. Actually, that's not bad. Right now, we're making the animal dealer viable because why not? And then I'll show you guys what I did on how I changed Hutan the same way. Map editing. That's good question. Thank you for asking, Jewel. The gameplay of FS25. Sure. Once you fix stuff. Default base game gameplay, I think. It fits the needs of a farming simulator. Let's be really gentle about that one. It fits the needs of a farming simulator. I don't mind the gameplay. I think the gameplay is okay. It's not stellar. It's okay. I think I love though I do love all of the new features. So here's our 00 buy everything. But look, oh look, we have a new farmland here for farmland 95. It's only 86 grand, and I can buy the animal dealer, and then I can go like this, and I can buy let's buy a mower. Well, we'll lease it because I don't have enough to buy it because I just bought farmland. Buy the mowing head. Don't have enough money. Lease. Yes. Okay. Tab, 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 tab. And just to prove that, like, when I'm buying farmland, I actually own it. We're going to go mow around the animal dealer, which there's a little bit of grass there. Not a lot, but a little bit. So we're going to go mow. So, yeah, Jewel, I like some of the new changes. I really, really, really like the new grass textures. I think all of that is fantastic. Like the new grass textures, the new hay textures, chaff, all of the fill type textures. I love the new like level of detail in all of those textures. I really, really like that. Like this grass swath looks fantastic to me. I really like that stuff. I think that I actually, most people don't. I actually like the changes to the contract system. I like how contracts are simpler, more straightforward. You do one task and you're done. Versus the old way where some stuff was some things like bailing, like a bailing contract in FS22. There was like 6 vehicles you had to do, and you had to do all this kind of transporting and back and forth. Where now it's just kind of one and done. I know, which might sound weird coming from me because I released a mod that allows you to use more tools on a bailing contract or on a mowing contract to allow you to pick up all the bales, even though the system doesn't want you to. But I do like the kind of focus of it. I think the gameplay is good. I think the GPS, I'm happy they added the GPS. GPS is a nice addition. It's not fantastic. It could be better. It's nice. I just downloaded Enhanced Vehicle because Enhanced Vehicle is my GPS mod of choice. So I'm very happy that they released the FS25 version already. I'm really excited to never have to use the in-game GPS again and actually use Enhanced Vehicle, because like I have a whole set of keybinds for Enhanced Vehicle and it works just the way I want it to. I love all of that extra stuff. So anyways, we bought the animal dealer. We now own the animal dealer. We're on the animal dealer right now, and we're playing it on it. We just mowed the grass at the animal dealer. Well, most of it. And then we could pick this grass up and do something with it or feed it to our animals. One question I actually had is, sometimes this might happen. Do I actually own the animal dealer animals now? So let's go here. Construction. So the animal dealer is one big old thing. But like the animals that are in the animal dealer, like how are they here? There's no pens. Huh. I'll have to look into the code and figure out how they're putting animals at the animal dealer, because to me it doesn't make sense. But anyways, yeah, now you own the animal dealer, or I own the animal dealer, and you own this little garage area right here. This garage area, which I think has a purpose. I don't know what that purpose is, but yeah, so I mean, we're editing the map. We made it our own. We now can own the animal dealer. If I wanted to, I could make this island here, which I think has a purpose. I don't know what that purpose is. It looks like it's some kind of constructible mission thing, or it looks like it's going to be. Like this looks like this one right here, and I don't know if you guys understand this or not, but this looks like a silo complex that just hasn't been built yet, right? If we come over here to the river, if you look at this, look at these like vats. It looks like some kind of like, I don't know, like a salt drying plant, but it also kind of looks like it hasn't been built yet. Like this right here, it looks like, I don't know what it's supposed to be. It looks like they flood it and they let water in from the river or something. There's this, I don't know. I don't know what this is. Does anyone know what this thing is? Yeah, and so those are the things that I like. I like the look of like the textures. I like the look of the map. I like the overall look of the trees and the grass and all that kind of stuff for the most part. I like the look of the buildings. I like all the textures. The stuff I don't like is probably a much longer list. I don't like what we've talked about today. I don't like the fact you can't buy all the land. I don't like that there's so much on here that you can't do. to me, that doesn't make sense. I don't like the fact that... where is it? I don't like the fact that the game has like 50 different textures, 40 to 50 different like ground textures, but they don't give them to you just to make a menu short. That's stupid. You should have access to absolute... If there's something on a map, you should have access to place that same thing. When it comes to painting textures, bushes, grass, plants, trees, decorations of any kind, like little flowers, all kind of stuff, you should have access to everything. If it's there in the game and the Giants makes a map and they expect us to customize that map, we should have access to 100% of the items that are there to customize for that map so that we can actually make it look like it fits. If I want to place a building, onto my own property, let's go back to our own property. If I come in here to do construction, and let's say I want to put, I'm feeling crazy, and I want to put a shed right here. No, let's do something like a silo. I want a bigger silo, right? I want this. Shoot, I put the letter U in there. I want to buy this silo, and I want to put it right here. But when I place it, the way the placement system works is it fills out all of the land area, the area around it with this stupid dirt and the dirt animal mud. I have no way with base game tools of making this fit in here because the only thing I have access to is asphalt. So you see how this has like 3 different paint texture colors in it? The only one I have access to is this one. That's the only thing I have access to. So if I tried to make this feel like it fit with the rest of the farm, I would, as a player, especially a player on console, I would do exactly what I just did. And now it looks like crap. I can't paint underneath. That's stupid. I can't. And then I only have access to part of the texture that's here. Now, as earlier in the stream, we created not insane asphalt, combined asphalt. We created this texture, which is those combined textures. It took us 5 minutes to create this combined texture, which matches the ground that's already here on Riverbend. So you see that? I just painted and it looks just like the ground on Riverbend. This little gravel here. What's that gravel? That gravel is this, I think. Is it? No, it's not. Is it this one? This one? No, it's one of them. It's probably one of the gravel textures. Here it is. Like this gravel texture, I'd have to do this gravel texture, but like if I overwrite this, oh, I can't get that back. Like if I want, oh wait, I want this like grassy, rocky texture. Oh wait, it's not here. Why is it not here? I don't know. That's stupid. Like the fact that they didn't include it doesn't make sense to me. Grass, dirt, right? Grass, dirt, stones is probably the one it is. I come in here to map US. It doesn't even have to be in order. Copy, paste, dirt, save. That looks like crap now. But if I come in here and just do this, save, quit, nothing else. All I did was add in grass, dirt. I'm guessing. I don't know if that's the right one. I'm guessing based on the way they name their files. Hey, Mark. Welcome in, Mark. Thanks for being here. Now I'm going to be able to fix it because I had to edit the freaking map to be able to get textures that are in the map to be able to use to fix or redecorate my farm. But the problem is these are in ground type mappings. You can only do it as part of a map. You can't add it as a mod. That doesn't make sense to me. Like, they not only did they not give us everything, they made it so that we can't add that stuff through a mod. So even though they didn't give us everything, we still can't add everything because they haven't given it to us. They haven't given us access to it. And they've blocked us from adding that stuff. A lot of the tricks we used to use as modders to fix things in the base game don't work anymore. So if I come in here now, I don't know if that's the right one that I added, but let's find out. Painting, grass. Oh. No, it's not. I guessed it's not the right one. This is grass with gravel. See it? That wasn't there in the base game anymore. I could go through and do this and do all of the grass stuff. I'm sure we'll find it eventually. Take this, copy that. Over here, map US. Grass moss, grass patchy, grass short, grass fresh clovers. There's a lot here, huh? There's a lot of grass textures. I'm so glad they didn't give us any of it. That's super important. Grass dry, grass cut, moss pebbles, moss stones, moss rocks. All of those things were not in the game. And so now I'm going to go ahead and add them because I feel like they should be here. So I'm going to hit exit, whatever. Quit out of the game again. We've gone in and out of this game like a billion times today. Grass. Patchy. Grass. Mid. Grass fresh short. Grass. Clovers. Yeah, I'm determined to fix that grass layer. Grass dry. Grass cut. Moss. And it also could be a gravel texture, actually. Let's close this. We don't need this anymore. Gravel. Where's the gravel? No, it's not. Mud gravel. Whatever. And then I'm not going to do the titles. I'm just going to copy over the names. Doesn't look good, but whatever. It gives us unique names. Ground type grass. Okay, save. Back into the game. And so we're gonna add more painting textures because it needs it or something. Oh. All right, we'll see you soon, Joe. I might be ending soon. I'm gonna show you guys Hutan in a minute. And then we're gonna end. I'm not breaking anything, Keith. Let's be very, very clear about that. I am fixing what giants neglected to do, and I'm proving that it can be done in a matter of minutes. But they're too lazy to do it. Or they're too lazy. They don't care. They don't care about the player. They don't want the experience to be a good experience. Or they want to keep that stuff for themselves, which is probably the answer. I'm just adding in all the textures that are on this map that are supposed to be there so that you can actually make it match. Then I'm doing it wrong. Yeah, right. I'm totally doing it right. Let's go in here to construction mode. And what we're trying to fix is we placed this building. I'm just proving a point. We placed this building and we accidentally painted over this grass. But the problem is this texture right here, this kind of gravelly moss texture, doesn't exist in the game, so I can't make it look the way it should. I can't fix it because Giants didn't give me the tools to fix it. So I'm gonna fix it. And all of these thumbnails already exist because they're there in the base game files. And so this is that. Concrete. Insane asphalt. I fixed that one. So now like right the game doesn't allow you to fix this mistake here. But I've made it so that you can. Let's see if we can actually make it look legit. Whoa, those are some freaking three-dimensional rocks. So that's there. That's there. That's there. Nope. Grass cut. Yeah, that looks right. And then we go up here to the one we created. These are all the ones that we created. Combined asphalt. Fix that one. Go over to plants. Short grass is right here. Medium grass is right here. By the way, I'm very happy they added this short and medium grass into the paintable textures. It's meadow, it's not grass. But look, oh, I fixed it. Oh, look, Giants, you didn't give me the tools to fix it, but I had to create the tools for myself out of the scraps that you left on the table to fix it for myself. And except for right here in the middle, like that texture, I don't know where that texture is. Like this one right here, it's like a gravelly or one of the moss textures. Oh, I don't see it. Like that texture, I don't think is one of the ones I've copied over. So I might have missed one. I haven't gotten them all yet because obviously all of the rest of these need to be copied over. It's probably one of the mud ones. Yeah, it's probably mud tracks or mud pebbles or something. But there. Now it looks legit. It looks like it was meant to be there. It looks like, well, maybe not. Here. Let me fix the grass. Sorry. The grass wasn't perfect. Now it's meant to be there, except for the fact that underneath the area is restricted and I can't paint in those areas, which I think is still something really dumb that Giants does. It restricts you from painting. I don't think you should ever be restricted from painting. You should always be restricted from painting. And if you want to override a restricted area, just like when you placing down buildings, you should be able to hit B and override it. That should be a thing. But there. So we fixed it. We added some extra grass textures. We made it look legit. We fixed our mistake. And now this sort of fits, except for this area in the middle, which is restricted, which is dumb. I hate that. But anyways, that's generally, we talked about a bunch of things today. We added in farmland, where is it? 00, which is all of the unbuyable land. It now says 00, but it's free. So you can just buy all the unbuyable land and have access to everything. We also changed the farmland for farmland 84. So farmland 84 now wraps around, goes all the way to the river's edge, wraps around all the way up to the train station around this building. Oh, and then this building here, which is the dairy, we made the dairy buyable. And we placed our own building on the dairy land to prove that it works. We've also made the animal dealer buyable. And we actually bought the animal dealer and we mowed around here and we proved that it works And that took minutes. Minutes. But let's look at, see, like, this, take this idea. No, not paint anywhere. This is actually editing the farmland file to fix what Giants broke. So this is now a farmland, and now that you can buy this farmland. We didn't save last time, but now that you can own it, that means you can do whatever you want to it. But this whole idea of like customizing the farmlands, let's see where you can take that. So I'm going to show you how far you can take that. So let's go over here to my game settings. I'm going to switch over to my live stream folder and go. Actually, I'm going to do one thing first. I'm going to show you guys a new mod. Testing, GitHub. That one. Copy. Contract Boost is getting a big update. But YouTube, can you survive? Paste, replace. Oh, I'm also working on a mods only mod. What would happen if you tried to play the game with mods only? What do you think is going to happen? No base game, no base game stuff. You can't buy anything base game. Anything. All of it. It's gone. No tractors, no harvesters, nothing. You can only play with mods. Now that is a challenge. And we're going to be doing a challenge on that new map. I'm hoping to do one. I'll probably record it instead of doing it live. But we're going to do a challenge on New Frontier. And it's going to be the square by square challenge, which is one of Rusty's original challenges from FS22. But it's going to be the square by modded square challenge. And you can only use mods. Can't use anything base game. So we're going to remove all the base game stuff. Because that seemed like a good idea. And then we're going to go here. We're going to add the Batwing. Enhanced vehicle because we haven't tested it. Contract boost version 44. I think that's higher than that, but whatever. Add the Piaggio. Anyways, so this is my own version of Hutan Pantai. Yeah, Mod Hub mods only. Only Mod Hub mods. That's actually, Mod Hub mods only would be a very, very bad struggle. But it's just mods only. So anything that's coming from the data directory, it says, no, you can't buy it. Simple mod, but I can't seem to figure out how to get the placeables menu to reflect the fact that I've not allowed you to buy stuff. It's a little bit of a current thing I'm trying to work on. So anyways, how would you take it if you could buy everything? Like, what could you do? Right? So let's look at Hutan Pantai. Now, Hutan Pantai, a significant amount of the map is not buyable. And from my perspective, it still is not. Like, the town is not buyable, and this special area up here is not buyable. But if you look, we kind of scroll around the map. We started doing this in a live stream about 2-3 weeks ago. Now you can buy a lot of these smaller farmlands. And some of this stuff I can actually fix now. The fact that 81 is over here, I can actually move this right here if I wanted to, which is what I'm going to do. But like 81, 82, you can buy all of this land along the coast. Up here, you can buy farmland 85, which is in the middle of this big, huge hill here you can buy. Farmland 77 is much bigger. You can buy this whole area. You can buy this part here above this field as a separate field. You can buy this area next to the town, 106 and 107 are farmlands that I added to be able to farm stuff that's there. Like I'm not gonna save my game, but if I lease this tractor and I go to the store, we'll drive around. From base game, Hutan Pantai suffers from this a little bit worse than Riverbend Springs. in that there's a ton of land you can't access at all. It's perfectly good land. Like this land right here, right by the dealer shop, this whole area, all of these trees you could cut down. They're not great trees for cutting down, but you could cut down and turn them into wood chips or something. All of this grass. Look at all this grass. All of this grass gives me like heart palpitations. Like, why can't I buy this and mow this grass? This is a significant amount of grass. And not only that, look at all these trees. Look at all the trees up there. Those are all good trees. If I run up here in the forest, there's a lot of really good... There's a few forestable trees, but a lot of really big trees that are going to be lots and lots of liters of wood. Especially if you're using a sawmill like my sawmill, which gives you access to all of those liters of wood. And you can sell them or make stuff out of them, whatever. So definitely check out the industrial sawmill when it comes out. It's currently in testing. It's available on my Discord if you guys want. And I'm going to put this map available on my Discord too. This is just my edit of Hutan Pentai. But all of this land, all of these trees, this whole entire plot of land, base game, this whole plot of land is not available. You can't buy it. It's great land. It has good access. It has a parking lot. Like there's a flattened area that has a parking lot that if you deleted the cars, you could put something here. You could build a house here. It's a perfect plot of land. Why is it not available? Like right here by the train station, not viable. This I added to be viable. 86, 87, 88, 89. All of these areas are now viable. You can buy this area right here. You can buy this factory area and then place stuff around the factory. You can buy this factory area right here and place stuff around the factory in all of those flat areas. For some reason, you can't buy this little hillside right here. I don't know what the frack. Well, I don't know what I was thinking. I'll fix that. But all of this area is now buyable. Before, you couldn't buy these areas of land. They just weren't buyable. You couldn't access them. They weren't. Oh, the reason you can't buy this part right here is because it's like rocky hillside. There's no reason to buy. But now you can buy like this whole area right up against the edge of the map, which has lots of trees on it and stuff like that. It's all buyable now. Over here, this area right here. If I jump to this, so if I teleport, GS teleport 103. This whole area, look at this wide open expanse of grass. In base game, not buyable. Not accessible. Can't do anything with it. For no reason whatsoever. The map border here looks kind of bad, but maybe that's why they didn't make it viable, but this whole area, not viable in base game. Right? And so so much of this map, like over here, this is kind of a silly plot of land, and I made it pretty cheap, but like this cliffside here, you can't buy. This little area by the docks, I made that viable. Like, and so you could, like, I made these like 99 if we visit 99, right? This strip of grass down the middle of the road, if I wanted to do some kind of role play where I was like a town service person and I had to mow all of these strips of land and keep them looking nice, then I want to be able to buy that land. I want to be able to harvest that land. I want to be able to do whatever I want. But the game doesn't allow it. And so it didn't take very long, it took me a couple hours, but I basically made all of Hutan Pentai viable. And the only part I haven't gone to yet is the town. And the town is like a little bit on its own, and there's not really much land that you can use in the town because they did such a good job of decorating it. But I made the rest of the map viable to do whatever you want with. And I think that's important. I think it's be able to use everything, especially like all of this land here. Now I can use it. Yes, it's right next to the dealer shop. It's not perfect, but it's actually flat enough to be fields. Totally. This is all totally flat enough to be a field. I could make a huge field here, and I plan to as part of my Can You Survive 25 playthrough. Or something like this. Like, this is the other one I don't get. Giants made these. I don't understand this. This is still this way. Giants made these rice paddies that look really, really awesome. They look awesome. But you can't actually farm them. They're just decoration. And they basically they're rice that's always this height. It doesn't grow, it doesn't wither, nothing. You just can't farm it. And part of it's because you can't really get vehicles up and down the steps of this area of land. But it's not farmable. Oh, there's a clipping problem. I'm inside the rock. And I don't get why they do that. You know what I mean? I don't really get that. So that's what that's what I'm working on for my playthrough, and trying to get open up a little bit more land to be usable and playable and farmable. If I'm going to be on this map a long time, I want to play it my own way. And so what I wanted to show everyone today is that by doing simple edits, you could potentially make something your own, and make it work just the way you want it to work, however you want it to work, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And Giants gives us the tools to be able to do it, and some of that know-how obviously is not as easy to come by, and I hope that I've showed you some of that know-how. If you have any questions or any concerns about anything we talked about today. By the way, this error, if you see this error in your log, this is from the extended straw crops mod. That's from Yos. Yos made canola windrow, like a swathable crop. Not swathable, but basically the harvester can now drop windrows, but there's no animation for it because he didn't update the animations for the new crops that he added thing in for, which is easy enough to fix. But he didn't do it. So that's, if you see that error, that's what it's for. And then I'll show you guys what it looks like to load into a map without anything. There? Yeah. This is what the mods only looks like. It looks really funny. And I can wait a week for the game to load. Come on. I started the game, right? See it green? Yep, started it. Oh, there you go. Finally. The game caught up with me. I don't understand this game at all. Let's go here. Oh, I have the old version of New Frontier. It's okay. Continue. So I'm just going to leave everything selected. All of my mods are selected. But I also have this new one right here. Mods only. Right? Oh, great to hear, Keith. Are they actually officially on vacation now? Yeah, this is what's broken. Can't show you what's in the mods only. Sorry. It's broken. Let me fix it. I'll fix it for you real quick. Sorry, I gotta show you what mods only looks like. And we'll go here while we're waiting. It's not already running. You're a liar. St. Nicholas Day? Okay. That's fine. That makes me wonder, Keith. I know that the Giants typically takes a vacation around this time of year. Does that mean that they're not going to release, not going to do any mods for the rest of the year? Or they're going to come back at some point? Because I just like you, we can look at it real quick. Giants is taking up all of my system resources. My web page isn't even working. There it goes. I have 4 mods pending. So, like, I don't know when those are going to come out. Are we still waiting for the game to launch? I'm running out of stuff to talk about. The game is taking so long to load. 19th, they shut down for Christmas. Okay. Well, at least we got a couple weeks. I can hope, pray that they do something. I'm just going to sit here and wait for Giants. My system is like, so I think the starting and restarting the game over and over and over. There's obviously a garbage collection problem with the game quitting and coming back in and going in and out, in and out. And you can tell there's a garbage collection problem for 2 reasons. Number one, I've been waiting for almost 4 minutes now for the game to start. And I'm probably going to have to come in here to the library and see how everything is running super slow. I have a tip-top of the line machine. It's less than a month old. There is no reason that anything should be running this slow. There's no reason that I should have the game quote-unquote running and I don't see anything. Like, there it goes, finally. There's a garbage collection problem with the game, 100%. So if you're ever streaming or doing something like this, eventually it's going to get to a point where you can't even load in the game because, I mean, you can, but like just getting to the start screen of the game, your network takes a huge hit. There's something wrong. Not only that, I'm playing music from a streaming service, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but every once in a while the music is like, it's like glitching and cutting out for a couple seconds. The other night on stream, I actually had to reboot my computer mid-stream to try to fix that problem. Okay, so here's what it looks like with no mods. Obviously, all of the new equipment works. So this is the mods only. This is a new thing that I'm going to be releasing. I'm releasing the mod, and then the idea is to play the game with that mod active. Because what it does is it turns the shop into this, into a ghost town. And so I don't know if you remembered, but I only had a few mods. This is my Batwing, the MacDon pack, Black Editions. I have a few placeable mods too. But basically everything base game is disabled. Everything is, it's just, there's nothing here. So I come in here and I go into the store. Nada. There's nothing. I can't even scroll. There's nothing to see. I have the MacDon. That's it. I have the Bednar mower that I made. I have a Black Editions of this. I haven't actually done anything with it. It was just a start. And I have this mower, this other mower that I was working on with you guys on stream last time. That's all I have. Nothing else. And the part that I'm working on, I'm trying to get to work, is the construction mode. Because I still have access to all of these placeables. I still have access to all the in-game placeables, but I don't want to have access to the in-game placeables. I want them to be blocked. So mods only means even buildings. And even all of this stuff, like painting you'll have, but you won't have trees, you won't have plants, You won't have anything unless it's coming from a mod. You won't have it. I might leave the plants in just for decoration purposes, but I'm definitely taking the trees out. Or actually, no, the trees can't come in from a mod, so I'll probably leave the trees in. So I'll leave this menu here alone, but everything else, all of this stuff should go away. And you'll you'll have to play with just mods, which either means you have to make your own mods or you rely on the modding community. And right now, if you start right now a mods only challenge on one of the New Frontier maps, which is a mod, will be really hard because there's a lot of stuff missing. Like I haven't seen any forestry mods. Right? We saw a chainsaw. We got our first chainsaw yesterday, the still competition chainsaw. But there's no forwarders. There's no tree harvesters or whatnot that are actually on the mod hub right now. I'm sure there's some on third-party sites, but even on mod hub there isn't. So to play mods only would actually be pretty tough. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to play this whole map mods only and see what I can do and see how fun it is. But at a high level, I think that's all I wanted to show you guys today. I have to download the new version of this map. I really want to play it. I'll download it. I'm planning on doing a second live stream later today in a couple hours. Probably like 1 to 2 p.m. until later. Or I might go after Bruce's stream and do 4 to like 6 or something like that. Go right after Bruce's stream. So we'll see what happens. But if you guys are up for it, I'm going to put out a poll on YouTube. Make sure you vote in the poll. Whether we do this kind of live mods only challenge, do the mods only thing and kind of see what it looks like live, or we continue with the Can You Survive playthrough. So please check out the YouTube thing. Vote. I'll put that poll up in just a minute. And I want to say thank you everyone for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming along. And I will catch everyone next time. Bye-bye. The music just stopped. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.